I remember I was being told that I should tell the story that they want me to tell, and not the truth that I knew. So they had to forge things that my mom was sick and she was living in the village. So I remember, and also the story was that my dad had separated with my mom, and I don't know where she is. So coming up with that story, you know, we had to be consistent. Me and my cousin, we had to be consistent with the story. Yeah. So whatever she says is what I'm supposed to say. Yeah. And we be on the same page. So, I'm trying to get myself ready for this thing. I'm good now. So, what up, my guys? It's your boy, Talented Man Solo here, and today I just want us to have a little talk. I know probably I've shared this in my channel, or probably some of you know that I've been here in the Kibera slum. And one thing about living in the slum, it has different things. There's a way people see you, like in a different perspective. And I think this happens even when you go to boarding schools. This national boarding school, where you meet people from different cultures, different areas, people who come from well-off homesteads. So I know there's a way that people see you, or people see the guys who come from the slum, basically. So one thing about living in the slum, it's I can say no one chooses to be born where they are. No one chooses to find themselves in a family where they are. So sometimes you just have to adapt to the situation that you find yourself in. So me finding myself, I just want to tell you my story, how I found myself here in the slum, and how things aspired along the way. So myself, I've been born in Kibera. No, not in Kibera really. I've been born in Nairobi. That's Pumwani Hospital. But now we were living in Machakos County. That's where the campers live. Yeah. So my dad was working in a Kenya Meat Commission. That's a company that deals with importing meats, and yeah. So we were born there while my dad was still working there, and we were raised there at a place called Athi River, KMC. So growing up there with my 4 siblings, me being the second born. So when I finished my primary education, I remember my cousin called my dad. She wanted to inquire. Now my cousin was living in Kibera slum. So when my cousin called my dad to inquire about how I performed in my KCPE, Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. So my dad at first, he was hesitant to pick the call, because he thought probably she was asking for money or something, and so he didn't pick the call at the moment. So it happened that my dad had to pick the call because my cousin was persisting. Now she needed to know, because there's a school that supports needy kids here in the slum. So she wanted to try that opportunity for me, because my my big brother, was not able to go to high school because of school fees issues. So it happened that after my cousin called my dad, we had to plan. We came over here in the slum. So arrangements were done for me to go and try. And now, funny thing about this school, when you get admitted, you go through a lot of process. Yeah, it's not only one process that you have to go through. And I remember the key people that were being admitted in that school is either you are orphan, you don't have one parent, or your parents, probably they are totally down, they don't have anything to do, and they are really in a bad shape, in a bad situation. So I was thinking, and it came to my thought that how am I going to get admitted into this school, yet I have both my parents, and they are living in a different place far from Kibera. And the first priority was being given to the kids from Kibera, from the Kibera slum. So we tried our best. We went there. We tried the first interview. If there's any document that was needed, was submitted, was availed. So, you know, one thing is, what I usually say is that God has every reason why He takes you somewhere. He has always a reason why He wants you to be somewhere. Yeah. At first, before I came to Kibera, I was hearing stories about Kibera and how violent people are, and how it's hard to be there because the life there is totally different. Only poor people, you will find them in the slum, like in the Kibera slum, being now the largest slum in Africa after Soweto, which I heard Soweto is improving now. Yeah, so it happened that now we had to forge some things, which for me, I was not for that idea. Now papers for sickness. Now we had to come up with a story that will entice those people to support me or to admit me in that school, because they were supporting everything in the school. Yeah, you only have to pay 3,500 for uniform and the admission, and from that moment you will not pay any cent until you finished Form 4. So they saw it as a good deal, so they were trying everything. And I remember I was being told that I should tell the story that they want me to tell, and not the truth that I knew. So they had to forge things, that my mom was sick and she was living in the village. So I remember, and also the story was that my dad had separated with mom, and I don't know where she is. So coming up with that story, you know, we had to be consistent. Me and my cousin, we had to be consistent with the story. Yeah. So whatever she says is what I'm supposed to say. Yeah. And we be on the same page. So we went there. We did a first interview, which was the exam interview. So in this exam interview, we were writing essay about yourself. You write about yourself, about your story. And now the same story that I was told to write is the same story that I wrote there. Yeah. And after that, the shortlisting was done. And I remember a list was out, and it was posted at the gate outside the school. So for me, because I knew whatever I was doing was wrong, even if they were trying to get me into school because you had fee issues. I remember for me, I wasn't for the idea because I knew they were alive. And at that moment, I remember I was into church, which I'm still into, because I believe that it's always good to say the truth. For those who know me, if I lie to you, you will know. Yeah, the people who know me very well, if I lie to them, they will know that I have lied. Yeah, and that will in a way create a guilt in me, and I'll have to go back to them and tell them, I'm sorry, whatever I said, I lied to you, and it was because of this and this and this. So I've learned to always just say the truth, no matter how hurting it may be to that person, but it's good to say the truth, because someone will know what your heart, what is in your heart, yeah. And it's always good to be true to yourself and to other people. So I remember the first list was out, and we were called. My cousin was called. No, we were told that the list will come out at this specific time, this specific day. So I went there to look at my name, and lucky enough, I got my name there. Out of 100+ people who came to apply for that opportunity, yeah. And I remember I was among the people who were selected. I was like, how? God, how did you allow this to happen? Now, we were called for the second interview, now for the second process. Now, this process, it was one-on-one interview. Now, I had to stick with the same story that I wrote in the essay, yeah, in the English test. So I said the same story, and my cousin was there with me also. I said the same story. We were separated. She went out, I was interviewed, then she came in, I was out, she was interviewed, and the story in a way matched to that. So after this, I remember after that we were told, now you will come at this day to check our names if it's there. And to my surprise, I went again, found my name. Yeah, I went again, found my name there again, and I was like, okay, something is happening here. Something is happening here. And because I remember there's a time before the interview happened, I was rebellious in a way. Even my dad and my cousin knew that I was not for the idea of going to that school if that was the process that I was going to use to go through. So I was a bit rebellious, and one thing I was told is that if I don't go to that school, then I'll never go to high school. I remember I had to think about it, and I had to do what they were telling me, because now my cousin, my big brother has not joined high school because of the same. Me, I didn't know if I was going to join because I performed well, and if that was the only process that they could allow me to go to school, then it had to be that. So I did what they asked me to do, and after all those processes, I was able to get the opportunity, and I was admitted at that school. It was a Catholic school, and the school was a very good school. It was started here in Kibera, and later they bought a land in another place far from Kibera, and now I had to trek from Kibera to that place, which was around 40 minutes walk from here to that school. And we had to wake up very early to be there on time. So as being the first Form 1s, the first new students to be in that new school, it was amazing. Everything was there. The food was good, the environment was good, the books were available. It was like being in international school in a way, because everything was available. We even had the e-books. I remember tablets were brought that we will go home with and study if we didn't have the books to carry a number of books back home. So I remember things went well after that, and I remember me starting living with my cousin. That's where now things started changing. Things started turning around the way I didn't expect. Yeah. So I remember I was told that because I'm still a visitor, they'll give me some time to adjust. And I remember the first weekend, things went on well, nothing much happened. And now the second month, now things turn around in a way. So there was a routine in this house, how things were being done. And I remember she had two kids. One was in grade 3 and the other one was in grade 5. And I remember at that moment, they were really playful, and they will, a lot of clothes that they were wearing will get dirty along the way, and the kids will wear different clothes during the week. And cleaning was only done once a week. That was on Sundays only. So I remember first day I was just given the task of washing the utensils in the house while she washed the clothes outside. So after the second month now things turned around. Now I remember that day I was told to bring the clothes outside to go and soak them. And I remember by the time I was soaking them, I went inside the house and I was told that I should start washing the clothes. Then when she finishes the work that she was doing in the house, she will come and help me out. So it happened that she was not coming out. She was stuck in the house. A friend of hers came, and they started talking. Yeah, they started talking, and that took a lot of time. Now, because she was to come and help me, I had to wash those clothes on my own. And now, remembering that most of the clothes that were there were for the younger kid that she had. And I remember they were very dirty. And you will need a lot of strength, like using the brush and stuff, for them to be clean. So it happened that I tried my best. So I was washing them, rinsing them with two basins of water, then hanging them for them to dry. Now it happened that after I washed several of them, she came, went to the hanging line, checked at the clothes. She found that some were having some spots. Yeah. And she was very angry. She took the clothes, brought them back, and started telling me that, what am I doing? I don't even know how to wash clothes. Yeah. What I only know is to eat her food, and I don't know how to do things well. Yeah. And I remember that was around, since morning I was washing the clothes on my own until around 3 p.m. is when she came by. And there's a lot of clothes, and my back was aching, like serious. So that thing really hurt me in a way, because I've never gone through something like that even with my parent. Because I remember we were taxed. My mother taught us to be responsible at a younger age. So we started washing our own clothes when I was in grade 5. Yeah, she will teach us, and that in a way created a sense of responsibility, not to dirtify your clothes at a certain level. So I knew that this was not this was not the way to go, because it's something that this is not a life that I was used to. So I had to adjust to the way things are at that moment.